Hi, so today I'm with Neno from Amusnet, who's going to talk to us all about slots and live casino games. So, how you doing, Neno?
Hello, pleased to meet you. Pleasure for your time. Doing well.
Good. So, could you tell us a little bit of background about Amusnet and what the studio stands for?
Yes, sure, absolutely. So Amusnet, being an all-leading gaming provider operating around the world, we've been live for 9 years now. We're doing our 10th anniversary next year, so we're quite excited about it. And yes, as you mentioned, live casino is one of our focus verticals, but at the same time, we're also developing slots and land-based since February 2024.
Okay, so what game would you say that Amusnet is most known for?
Yes, for us, Amusnet, when it comes to live casino games, I would say that Vegas 500X is one of the fan favorites. When it comes to slots, we're quite focused on to the fruit thematics, but at the same time, we're also focused on expanding that portfolio and also working on other types of games.
Okay, so the 500X roulette, is that a multiplier roulette game?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, with a 500X maximum multiplier. Okay.
Correct, right.
That's good. And that comes available just in European roulette, or is it also in American roulette format?
European roulette.
Roulette, okay. And a little bit more on the slots. So you said you use the fruit mechanics?
Fruit thematics,
yeah.
But we're also, of course, focusing on character ones. Buy bonus games being one of the trendy ones for the past couple of years. So I have to say that this is another thing that we're also having our eyes on.
Okay. And what countries are you most prevalent in then?
So in total, we're operating on 35 markets. For now, of course, constantly looking for expansion. Our main focus is Eastern European, Central European, of course, Latin America, now starting in Africa.
Okay, and all the games are in native language, are they? Or
Yes. We do have localization because we believe that localization is key for the players and players' retention after all.
So when I'm, if I come along to a casino website and I'm looking in the lobby, what game should I be looking for from Amusnet that you think is the best one for me to play?
So it depends on the roadmap, but when it comes to some specific names, when it comes to slots specifically, I'll have to go for the Golden Coin series. We've also released recently Coin Gobbler game, which is our main character, one of the main characters coming up, a buy bonus one. So I'll have to say that these are the main ones that you could focus on.
Okay, and in terms of the live dealer games, you mentioned roulette. Do you have any other titles?
Yes, the live European roulette is actually one of the fan favorites as well. And this is something that I believe you could also look for in when it comes to going to an operator website.
And so the live roulette, is that streamed from the studio somewhere?
Yeah. We do have a studio, of course, Green studio, and then we're doing that. It also allows some of our live casino roulettes offer customization when it comes to the operators. But on the other hand, when it comes to features, the fast pace and dynamic tempo that we're providing to the players and everything going smoother is what we are focusing on.
Okay, right. And where are the studios based?
Specifically, most of the time is in Bulgaria, where our headquarters is.
Okay, right. Okay. Thank you very much for telling me a bit more about Amusnet.
Yes, absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm with Sargis from CreedRoomz, who's CPO, and Sargis is going to be talking to me all about their live dealer games and give me an update on the latest games that they've got out, and also to give us a bit of history about where they sit in the live dealer space and hopefully where you can play their games. So, welcome, Sargis. Nice to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
That's okay. So we were just talking off camera about the number of tables that you've got. So can we just sort of start there and just because it just gives us an idea of the size of CreedRoomz, and then we could talk a bit about the games themselves. So how many tables have CreedRoomz got?
So at this point, we have more than 200 tables. And of course, the main focus is on the classic games, as usual, as all other providers do. We have more than 60 tables for blackjack. We have a lot of tables for baccarat. So the main focus is again on classic games, as I said. But the market is demanding to have new game types, the show games. Yes, we are working on having new lines with show games. We already have 3 show games live in our portfolio, and we are working on having new show games going live till the end of the year.
So what are the existing show games? What are they called?
So one of them is the variation of a multiplayer roulette.
Yeah.
The other one is the show game with the wheel, big wheel, lucky wheel. So And we are going to have the third one going. Actually, we already have one live with, it's called Fruit Roulette. It's some combination of roulette game and slot game. And as I've told, yeah, the new mechanics are coming to the market, the show games, and all this is being done because the slot players are being converted to live casino games. And we are experimenting to figure out the best solution to have this conversion.
So I've seen, and the trend tends to be in live casino over the last 2 years, certainly, there's a heavy reliance on RNG in providing that additional functionality to the live games. But you're talking more about bringing in some of the elements that slot players are already comfortable with. So perhaps bonus mechanisms or feature buys or something like that.
Our upcoming new game, actually one of them, as I've said, the Fruit Roulette, is the mix of classic roulette and the RNG games, where there are RNG multipliers that being provided to the players who are playing on the roulette. This is also helping the players again to convert from slots to live casino. The new games that we are going to have in the pipeline, actually they are under construction already, are again mixed with RNG games, with bonus games. So we are going to have the new game, the competitor to one of our Tier 1 competitors, which is going to be a new wheel game with 4 bonus games in each. And these games, they are partially on RNG.
So in terms of RNG, do you find that the RNG live mix more exciting than perhaps creating a pure RNG game or a pure live game?
Actually, if we look at the statistics, the main classic games, they are still there. And the live casino players, they are still there who prefer to have the classic ones. So if we look at the statistics, the main games that are producing the big portion of the revenue are still classic roulette, classic blackjack, and baccarat, of course. The short answer will be no. But if we think about long-term period, the new games, again, they are converting the slot players, and also the new game type and the new players are coming to the market. So the main classic players, they are from 80s, 90s. And this new generation that is coming, they like something new. They want to experiment. They are not sticky to the classic games. And that's why, as the market is demanding, we are also changing the games on our side. In long term, the answer will be yes. Now it's mostly no.
That's really interesting because I sort of fit in the bracket of an older style player. So I quite like the traditional games.
Yeah, the statistics.
But it makes sense that you're making games now that are perhaps more targeted to the Gen Zs and the Gen, whatever the other gens they are. But it's also interesting that as the older players sort of, I don't want to use the word die out, but stop playing the traditional table games, whether the younger players will play those or whether the newer games are more important.
That's why we are trying to keep everything in balance. So we should have both audience covered, let's say so. And we are also experimenting with the blackjack games now. So we are going to have new blackjack types, again, some RNG features embedded in the classic blackjack games. So this will also help to interact, let's say so, these new generation players.
So as a player, I came to online because I played in land-based casinos. So it's only now that we're starting to see land-based casinos offering games with multipliers. Obviously, one of the main providers has got the original Lightning multiplier game has now made its way into land-based. So do you think any of your games will transition to land-based? Do you have plans for that?
Yeah, the goal is actually to have new, I don't know how, let's say so, in the market. And perhaps, of course, yeah, if the players like it, as we already have the solution from land to live, it's the solution when we are going with our equipment to offline casinos and bringing the offline games to live casino world. Maybe it will also start working vice versa. So our new features will go back to the offline because we already have this cooperation with them.
Because it's really difficult for the land-based casinos. I don't see a huge amount of innovation going on there in terms of new games, or there's the odd variation that you see in land-based. You know, they might have a slightly different roulette, but on the whole, it's pretty much a very traditional experience that you get in land-based.
That's why they are also adopting and they are also transferring to live casinos. So that's why our land to live solution is also working, because all land-based casinos understand they still have to adopt because the market is demanding. They can't stay as they used to stay 50 years ago or 20 years ago. So they have also need to change something to keep the market.
So I have an audience on my website and YouTube channel that come from around the world. So will players from Brazil, India, Eastern Europe be able to play your games online?
Yeah, of course. As I mentioned, we have the certificates almost all over the world. Latest one is the Brazil market.
Yeah.
And we are trying to have the expansion of the Brazil market, and it also requires having Brazilian tables. At this point, we have Brazilian dealers in our studio dealing on blackjack roulette tables, but we are also thinking about having our dedicated studio directly in Brazil because the market is huge and this expansion also demands to have the studio inside Brazil.
So I thought that was one of the licensing requirements of the Brazil to have, is it not to have a localized?
The tables should be localized, yeah, but it's not required to have the studio there.
Ah, right, just localized dealers.
So we do have the localized table for Brazil market, but as the market is huge and we are expanding, there's the decision to have also the studio in Brazil.
So it's obviously quite a large overhead in infrastructure overhead and staffing overhead in manning live casino games. So how many staff have you got looking after everything?
This moment we have more than 1,000 employees involved in live casino production, development and all that layers, let's say so, in creating the games. But again, considering the expansion, we have new departments that are being created to help us get bigger and have these experiments already implemented in-house, like an R&D department. We have department for specific game constructions, like creating our own machines that are going to be used in our upcoming show games. Yes, and this is also bringing new staff, new engineers, not only developers, but also engineers from old-fashioned engineers to have new ideas and to be compatible in the market.
So as a player, I'm really interested that when I sit down at a table, I'm getting a fair game. So how do you ensure that the game that I play is fair?
Well, if we are talking about classic games, there's 99% visibility of what's going on. All the cards are being dealt in front of you. The shuffling is being done in front of you. So it's all visible. If we are talking about mixing the RNG with the classic ones, here comes the certification part. So all the RNG engines that we are using at this point, they are fully certified with the GLI. They are certified for UKGC, and this is also written in all our games. And yeah, this is one of the ways that we are trying to show the players that in games on our side are fully fair.
Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or mention?
I think that's it. We've covered pretty everything. I've talked more than I was supposed to, I think, because there were some topics that are coming in upcoming future and it's up for public yet, but...
Well, I know you probably can't talk about those, but it's interesting to know that they're coming. So
yeah, they are coming. Wait for the ICE 2026. We are going to see some new features and new enhancements.
I'm quite excited. Well, it's really nice to see you again. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you.